And we are back for the next matchup in the Zelda 1 80% no Up+A tournament between Bobbing4Fries and chessjerk. Liquid Husband here with Gary on Old Wolf. The time for talking is over. They are starting very, very momentarily. Sorry for the delay there, guys.
So I did a little bit of research here. We got chessjerk, who faced Zebgedney in the first round and lost, and then went up against Southern Pretzel and won in the second round. Has a 32-41 PB as we see they're starting. And Bobbing4Fries is also 1-1, had a 42-39 first round and lost to Reeves, and a 46-26 second round and won against Mad Bomber. And his PB is currently a 40-33 according to Discord.
Yeah, Bobbing4Fries is a little bit, I'd say, relatively new to this as a speed game, I believe, at least comparatively to chessjerk. chessjerk's been playing this longer than most people, as evidenced by his strong PB and his very strong performance in the concurrent Zelda 1 randomizer tournament going on right now as well.
Yeah, I know him from playing the nightlies in the randomizer, but I didn't know until right around the AGDQ that he was good at the vanilla game as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I certainly had seen more of him with the randomizer in my time as part of this community than with the vanilla game, but apparently long before my time, this was a standard thing for him. So I'd certainly expect to see a strong performance on his part as we see him doing level 3 first versus Bobbing4Fries doing 2 first. And from your race just a few moments ago, Gary, you know that if you're a 2 firster going up against a 3 firster, you've got to be on your game.
Yes, you do. Ooh, and Bobbing doesn't get any bomb drops in that Korea room.
He does not, in fact. It almost makes you regret even trying in there when you go through the trouble of taking them out and getting nothing for it. But
I did notice
in that situation you have to go for it.
Bomb.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen of people doing 3 first, that first bomb is important.
Oh, absolutely. It can completely change the complexion of your level 3. I mean, a skilled player can work around it for sure, but even so, the most skilled players can take a early bomb and take a good level 3 and turn it into a great level 3. Bobbing is what he lacked in bomb drops. He is at least making up for in rupees, which will certainly come in handy if he's going with a blue ring route.
And he still got no bomb drops. He had at least one chance.
Absolutely required, yeah.
But at least he didn't get the Troll Dongo.
Yeah, a very, very cooperative Dodongo. Let's see about Manhandle on the other side. Oh,
he looked pretty cooperative as well.
Straight line halfway across the screen.
Now, obviously, I run the 2 first route personally, so I'm not really sure what kind of bomb count or rupee count chessjerk needs on the different levels.
Only having 1 rupee out of level 3 isn't ideal, but it's not necessarily problematic either. We're probably going to see him really work some counts here in level 4. It's a tough dungeon if you don't do that, because there's not a lot of chances to get free stuff, especially with Wood Sword. No enemies in this dungeon that drop items that you can kill with 1 Wood Sword hit, so you've really got to be resourceful with your bombs. Storing 5 rupees, storing bombs, whatever may come your way. There was 1 bomb drop that netted him nothing, but he was only 1 off before he actually got the bomb off that other soul, so still in good shape. He's probably going to want to find some money, though.
And I heard it mentioned on one of the other restreams I watched, in this NSU room, you want to always kill at least 1 Vire with sword. in order to not screw up your spawns in one or the other rooms.
Yeah, if you bomb all of them there, it can really mess with things later on, which is strange to think about, but it's all part of the game within the game when you're playing Zelda.
So far, it looks like Bobbing's on a 2-first blue ring route because he went and got the 100 secret and is buying the blue candle.
Yep, certainly appears to be that way. So, we saw in his he accidentally goes back into that shop. That will happen. We saw his the title of his names on the name select screen, bobbing for sub 40. So he's shooting for that same goal that you achieved not so long ago.
Yes, he is.
Oh, as he learns you can't outrun that Lionel beam on your way to the white sword.
Yeah, that Lionel can be mean at times. As chessjerk picks up the error key. I believe that's what they refer to that one as.
Yep, that would be the error key, named after our friend in the community, Error72, as he does get a bomb drop off of that Fire. So that's, obviously he'd been working a count up to that point. Did not get any extra rupees in level 4 outside of the 10 rupees on the floor in that black background room.
It's looking like Bobbing's going to make it at the very least to the screen where where the ramp to level 1 is without dying, which is very important. So if you died before that, you have to go back to the screen you died on.
Yep. Picking up that 30 secret north of there, and as long as he plays it right here, he's got a clean walk into level 1.
Not sure. Did he grab the letter while he was up in the north?
I did not see him grab the letter. I think it's become more of a popular thing recently to do like you did and pick up a potion on the overworld.
Yeah, it was I was wondering because he picked up that 30 secret, and usually that 30 secret is used when you're planning to buy a potion.
Yeah. Could be. Time will only tell, but I don't think he picked up the letter.
Yeah, because I was looking at the other screen when he was up that way.
And we're going to get to see a little bit of a high five here between chessjerk and Bobbing4Fries.
Ooh.
As they're both hanging out in level 1.
Bobbing took a death to the Gorilla Boomerang. I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, he went for it with 1 heart, and I mean, not a huge time loss because it isn't the longest dungeon in the world, but you hate to have to go through any room again unnecessarily. Looks like we see him bobbing for counts here.
chessjerk getting the bomb drop off the Koreas. Not sure if that was a forced bomb or if that was a good bomb. Good, randomized bomb.
In any event, I guess perhaps Freud would say a bomb is just a bomb, as both players are picking up the bow at almost the same time. chessjerk just having done so with 1 more dungeon completed.
Here, coming up on a spot where we'll see the difference between the white sword and the wood sword. chessjerk, having the wood sword, drops the bomb to get extra damage, whereas Bobbing4Fries only needs 3 hits with the white sword, whereas a chessjerk would have only used the wood sword, he would have needed 6 hits.
Indeed, certainly speeds things up and saves you a bomb with the white sword. Now, we do see chessjerk leaving level 1 with fewer rupees than he would like. He's going to track everyone down he possibly can. You want to have 30 rupees at this point in the 3 first route. So we're probably going to see him killing some levers here in the desert, trying to get some rupees to drop.
And it looked like he wanted rupees, and the game wanted to give him all heart.
Yep, he does pick up a 5 rupee, and then another one for good measure. So now, as I say, he was in rupee trouble. Now he's got an embarrassment of riches on his way to picking up one more 30 secret and then his own blue candle.
See them both picking up heart containers here. I've heard some people refer to that heart container below level 1 that Bobbing just got as a race heart or race potion. I know on the blue ring route, you pick it up on your route because it's one of the easier hearts to get to that's right on the path in order to get the 12 hearts when you go for the magical sword.
Yeah. It's just one of those ones that if it's not part of your route, right before level 9, you might swing by there after whistling to 1 to pick up a potion before going in just to play it safe. I think, at least, that's my assumption that that's where its name comes from. That you would do that in a race situation, so it became known as the race potion or race heart.
It looks like chessjerk is using to block the green scroll to get to 5 after buying the blue potion. Or, not potion, blue candle.
It's alright, I've called it the blue ring about 6 times the other night. Obviously a very different item than the blue ring, but we do see him getting in there and letting that Armos run loose, but dodging around it and getting in without taking any damage. That's going to be huge. We see him picking up that extra bomb. He's going to have 7 bombs going into the first real critical room in this game, outside of maybe the Ganon fight.
The room of requirement for the recorder. Yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like Bobbing is actually taking the top route through level 3.
He is, in fact. It's a slightly, I don't want to say safer or easier, but in some ways it is. It's just harder to get your counts. If it takes more expert work to get a solid count going in with it. And we see chessjerk getting a bomb drop off of the blue dark nuts, doing his counts very well in that room.
And getting the hearts pick up for that last hit heat.
Yeah, very helpful.
Question in chat from Crescendo 2020. Not entirely why he did the shoot room. That shoot room has an easier bomb drop than killing the dark. If he already had 8, I'm not sure why he would have done it, but it's easier to get those bombs than it is the ones from the dark because it takes less hit.
Yeah, he has gotten bomb drops left and right in this level 3, which, I mean, I'm sure he's not going to complain about. The only unfortunate thing is doing the top route can lead to a more unruly manhandler, as he is seeing now.
Yes, getting a little bit of a troll handle of it. Having to finish it off with the white sword. And he gets a bomb drop out of it, at least.
That shows he went a long time in that fight without taking any damage, storing that 10th hit somewhere along the way. Very, very well done, and certainly what you want to see if you've got a sword down manhandler. To get a bomb drop off of him is not an easy task.
Meanwhile, chessjerk coming up on Digdogger.
Yeah, so we got chessjerk treating level 5 like clockwork, making a very difficult dungeon look extremely easy up to this point.
It's not like I did manage to pull a bomb drop out of Digdogger.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2 very unusual bomb drops so far tonight in our races. One off of sorting down Manhandle, and the other when you got one off of Digdogger.
Only difference was I didn't see mine in time to...
Yeah. We were thinking, man, he must just feel like he's too far across the room. He's already going through the door, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I forced a bomb drop on Digdogger.
Meanwhile, Bobbing did pick up the blue ring. Now it looks like he's going to try and screen scroll to get to level 4.
And those left to right scrolls, as he nails it, you can buffer with the sword a little bit, so it helps a little bit on the left to right ones.
Yeah, it's a slightly easier screen scroll, but it also requires a different pixel place than the regular screen scroll. The normal screen scroll, you're on the 5th pixel, but for the buffered one, you have to be on the 7th pixel in order to be able to use your sword.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of people who are the more experienced screen scrollers will talk about how the left to right feels harder, even though technically it's, you know, from buffering and amount of frame window standpoint, it is technically an easy. A lot of them will say that it feels more difficult to them.
We got another question from Fearless Decoy. I see Bobbing got the blue ring and white sword while Chess seems to be skipping them. Will Chess grab magic? I'd say 99% chance chessjerk will grab the magic sword. I don't know if I've seen any runs where they don't pick up the magical sword when they're not doing like swordless or one of those kind.
Yeah, I mean almost a foregone conclusion that every runner in this will pick up the magic sword. Outside of there has been some chatter in the Discord about a couple of guys potentially going rogue and doing a low percent race just for kicks in the middle of the tournament. We do not suggest that because obviously average finish times do matter, but if it comes down to the brackets, who knows what we might see in some gentlemen's agreements.
Meanwhile, at level 2, chessjerk skipping right over those gorillas, not having to worry about the bomb drop since he already has bombs. Something the 2 first route doesn't have the advantage of because it takes an overworld kill heading the 2 to be able to have bombs the 2. Whereas on the 3 first route that chessjerk is running, you're going to have bombs usually by the time you get there. And it looks like poor Bobbing is picking up the error key as well.
Yeah, and something you see in the 3 first route that you don't see in the 2 first. I mean, most things in 3 first are more difficult. However, one of the things it does that is a very welcome change to doing the 2 first is it breaks up the bad bomb dungeons a little bit better. You're not having to do 4, 5, and 7 back to back to back. You get 2 in there to help replenish your bomb count issues.
Here we see another spot where the white sword speeds up the fight a little bit because it takes less hits to kill Gleeok when you can avoid his fireballs.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it takes a little bit of time to pick up the white sword and blue ring, but he does have twice the damage capabilities and twice the defense of chessjerk. So, you know, in high pressure situations, it does lend itself to having a little extra bit of a safety net, I guess you could say, as chessjerk is headed to pick up his bait and arrows.
Chessjerk did not try the tricorder, which is a somewhat new, I guess you'd call it a technique, for going into that Armos to be able to get the meat there. That saves a little bit of time by not having to wait on the old man to spawn to sell you the meat. And also, I believe it saves one less whistle blow when you're then going to your next dungeon.
Yep, saves time. It saves time potentially on the front end, and definitely saves time on the back end. I believe it's been estimated at around 2 or 3 seconds.
And that's one that I know on the 2 first route, it doesn't really help any because unless you're doing screen scrolling where you whistle to 4, because like when I do it, I whistle to 3. So now my next whistle would be going to 2, whereas if you do the tricorder, now I have to do an extra whistle.
Yeah, we had a question in chat about the red ring. I answered it a little bit in text form, but the easiest explanation is the red ring in this game, in the vanilla game, takes you through such a much more dangerous, circuitous route in level 9 that unless you're running 100%, you're not going to see people pick it up. It's probably actually safer to avoid it than to try to pick it up.
And Bobbing4Fries just picked up the coast heart, and he's skipping over the raft heart. I don't believe I saw him get a potion yet.
He has not. Not. I can't speak to this strategy, as he gets a bomb drop on that Korea. He had a count worked up. I know that.
Chester grabbing the room drop bomb, because he was a little bit short on bombs. Like, he technically had enough to finish the level, but he would only been able to use one bomb on Dig Dogger, whereas you can see now he's able to use the 2 bombs.
Yeah, vastly
speeds up that fight quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he gets a cooperative Dodongo as well.
Oh man, it's raining bombs in level 6. As we see Bobbin get the scroll over to level 5.
Ooh, I hope that can't. Okay, I wasn't sure if that Wallmaster was gonna get him when he got bopped there.
That was certainly a close call. I think he had just enough invincibility frames to avoid it. See, Bobbing in level 5, maybe having some issues with bomb management, things not going exactly as he would prefer, as he's going to head into the recorder room with just 5, having already picked up the Gibdo bombs.
Yeah, having already gotten those bombs and being down to 5 is worrisome. And now he's using bombs in the Dark Nut rooms. Hopefully he can get a drop here.
Yeah,
if he's getting hit, he's not going to get one, because the blue Dark Nuts do not drop bombs unless you force it.
Yeah. He's getting a little reckless here.
Yeah.
He's got to be very careful, or we're going to see a death. Just, as someone who has gotten reckless in this room more times than I care to admit, I can just start to see it sometimes.
Ooh, there's a good fairy for him.
Yeah,
now, one thing I don't remember... How many bombs you need to finish level 5?
You don't need any more bombs to finish level 5, I don't think. You
okay,
just
so
want
then the
them
2
because
you're
going to level 7 next.
Ah,
yeah.
Right. And meanwhile, we saw chessjerk pick up the magical sword. And he does have enough keys. As long as you have 1 key going into 6, you have enough to have the minimum number of keys you need.
Gets nothing of use from those whiz robes, other than no beats. Oh, and a masterful clearing of the belfry room. That was just expertly done by chessjerk as he takes beam swords into magical breakfast.
And it looked like he had got a 5-dropper off the red Wizrobe. Shame he couldn't get a bomb placement there to get a bomb out of that. I'm not sure he realized he was at a 9 count.
Yeah. So after a strong early start to level 6, chessjerk's taken a couple of hits, but he's really only got 1 more room he really has to worry about coming up after these Vires. And he gets some hearts and bombs from them. So as long as he can survive this magical brunch, as we call it sometimes, he should be fine.
He's getting all the bomb drops now.
Oh yeah, they always show up when you least desire them. I'm sure he'll gladly take them, but getting bomb drops when you've got 7 bombs is not what you're looking for necessarily.
No, but I've noticed the game seems to give you bomb drops anytime you have full bombs. At least that's how it feels playing randomizer.
Oh gosh, got 2 bomb drops from those fires. You're not kidding. They're everywhere.
Now, chessjerk should be on his way to level 8 now.
Yeah, he's on a very, very solid pace here so far. Level 8 usually from this point to finish is about 2 minutes unless something goes wrong. So we're definitely looking at entering, if he can clean out the level 8, we're looking at getting into level 9 at around 28 minutes. Definitely a great time, especially in a race setting.
Usually level 9 is around 5 to 6 minutes long. So if he enters the 28, he'd be looking at about a 34. He actually just said earlier in IRC that he just got a 3241 PB.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew his PB was a little bit lower than that, but obviously, if you're within a couple of minutes of your PB, usually you put up a decent time in a race.
Not too bad of a Blue Lagoon. He got hit a few times near the end there, but
yeah, certainly helped that he had made it so far without getting too many bops. Oh, and that Gibdo getting him right before he can get the door open. That's unfortunate. So he'll have to play it a little extra safe in this room unless he can get some heart drops off of these dark nuts.
Which they are. They are in the health dropping group, but they're
allegedly.
I was just about to say, but they're not dropping anything in the fairy cave.
That Gibdo a little more friendly as he gets through it.
Meanwhile, Bobbing4Fries is in the river room with the blue gorillas and the keys. That is easier with the white sword. When your wood sword, you'll see a lot of runners use arrows there. Whereas with the white sword, you do the same amount of damage as an arrow, and you don't have to pay any rupees to do it. As long as you don't get bopped by the bubble.
Yeah. And we see, you notice Bobbing4Fries with 24 rupees here. That's a very odd number. Obviously, it's an even number, but a very unusual number of rupees to have at this point in the game. I think that's coming from that extra 30 secret he picked up that we never really saw the reasoning behind.
Wonder if we're going to see chessjerk get the race potion.
He has switched
looks
over
like
to
he's
Candle,
going for
so
it.
I bet so. Yep. He's heading down there.
Meanwhile, Bobbing did not stop and get the bomb drop out of that room, but he does have 5 bombs, so he should be okay here.
I didn't necessarily see where he got his bomb drop, but obviously he got one somewhere because we know he was hurting earlier for bombs, and now he's got more than enough to finish.
Ooh, and that Dodongo ate. Ooh, both of them! That hurts. Now he needs a bomb drop. Ooh, and he got one.
To go from having more than enough bombs to all of a sudden none, Dodongo making up for not trolling anybody in level 2. We're going to see chessjerk as he builds up a count outside here a little bit. Enter level 9 at 28 minutes 37 seconds. Pretty decent time for anyone not attempting to get a world record, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good pace for a race. He's looking at probably about a 34 pace, depending on how Patra and Ganon go.
Yep, obviously, we've heard it said 100 times, especially in the Zelda randomizer races, level 9, the great equalizer. He does have, although going in with all the resources you need and 2 full potions, you gotta like chessjerk's chances to close this out.
Yep, he is. You just have to make sure that if you're low on health, you have that potion ready to use, so you don't die with it in your pocket.
Yep, he missed the door a little bit there, which caused him to get hit by Patra. He had the clip through set up and just couldn't get through the door in time.
And he had a helpful orange Wizrobe give him a bomb drop. Make up for not killing Patra to get the bombs there.
Oh, takes a couple of Wizards to see our first potion. It's earlier than you want to when you're nervous in level 9, but definitely the right play. If this can lead to him having beam swords in reverse C, he's going to be very happy he went ahead and used that potion.
Oh yes, definitely. Because with only green tunic, one hit from the Wizrobe, from an orange Wizrobe beam, does 4 hearts of damage. I believe the blue does 2, I'm not completely sure.
Yeah. Bobbing4Fries over here he's been trying to get the screen scroll over into the grave for a while now. Spent probably a good minute or minute and a half on that screen. Has decided enough is enough. It's time for a change. We're just going to walk over there. chessjerk does take a bot from Patra too, but you know, minimal damage taken clipping through there. I'm sure he'll take it, especially with the extra bombs that he has.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking of bombs. Oh, and speaking of bombs.
He's getting all the bomb drops.
Yeah, all those bombs that Amo was looking for earlier in your race. chessjerk has encountered them, and he puts them to tremendous use in that reverse C room, leaving the room with more hearts than he started the room with. That's always a tremendous feat.
Bobbing killed that Lionel on the outside there. He may not manage to get a bomb drop in this first room if he goes for it. Yep, no drop at all. Wow. That's the last thing you want, because then you have no idea of what your global count is. You can't even get any kind of drop.
Yeah. No news whatsoever for him.
Looks like chessjerk got through the like pretty well. Those like sometimes jump out and eat you, and then it's like you finally kill one and the next one eats.
Yeah. There's a pattern to recognize on the ones in the one that has just a few of them in it. That's a dark room. But the other ones, yeah, it can really be a bear to try to get around, because you're in that kind of diamond-shaped room, or with the diagonals, and you've got to really navigate around them. As we see chessjerk now using his last bomb at the last place he needs a bomb. He's still got that potion handy. Certainly nice to have in your back pocket as you head to Patra 3.
And right now, with the lead he has, even if he would happen to take a death here, I'd say he should still have this. Although a death here would be pretty costly in terms of he would only have 3 hearts.
Yeah,
but he gets
that's always the trick. It's almost worth it to go fill up at the fairy fountain. But he's going into Ganon with 5.5 hearts.
And
as long as he's got the potion holstered nearby, he should be alright.
And he has the rupee to shoot the silver arrow as well.
Always a crucial element.
Which I heard you guys talking about in the previous.
Yeah. And he got down below 4 hearts, so he's going to go ahead and use the potion there to avoid a potential Hyrule driver. And kills the pig. And
get out your GGs in chat. chessjerk finishes with an official SRL time of 33:55, which according to IRC is a PB for him race-wise.
That is a tremendous time. Yeah, it says improved his personal best by 2 minutes and 32 in recorded races, but very well done by chessjerk.
Meanwhile, Bobbing is entering level 8 now.
He's coming in there with 4 bombs. Obviously, you don't need more than 4 bombs to finish level 8. However, you like to have your bombs in order before you go to level 9.
Now he's in the second Blue Lagoon. So named because there's usually a lot of lag on these rooms. Not as bad in this one as the first one, because there's only 2 of the BMO statues. But that first room, when you first enter the first Blue Lagoon, there's a lot of lag that makes it a very tough room to fight. Plus, plus Darknuts do 2 hearts of damage. Well, 1 heart of damage with the blue ring.
Yeah, he got through that second Blue Lagoon extremely well, though. I mean, the Darknuts were being somewhat cooperative, but at the same time, it was expertly done by him.
He's finishing up level 8 now, so oh yeah, he's refilling from the Triforce. And now he'll be whistling to level 1 to go up to level 9. At least that's the normal route of going.
Yeah, although remember, he's still without a potion in this situation?
I believe he is still without a potion. With that sound, I believe we have chessjerk here in the booth. GG, chessjerk.
Thank you very much. Good evening, guys. How are you?
Oh, we're doing... I understand that was very close to your PB time. Obviously, it was considered a race PB, but either way, extremely well done.
Thank you very much. I told Gary in this before we started, I actually just beat my PB in the run before this race. So, it's actually not as close to my PB as it was half an hour ago, but,
Okay.
But you are correct.
It looks like somebody in chat is telling us he does have a potion for Bobbing4Fries, so apparently we both missed him picking up the potion.
That person's not necessarily reliable, though.
Ouch.
So any thoughts about your runs, chessjerk?
I think I got 3 times as many bomb drops as I did in my previous tournament race, approximately. You know, it's who knows for sure. But I was saddened almost by the amount of bomb drops I got in level 6.
Yeah, it seems like you got all the bomb drops.
I think I literally got every single one. But overall, overall the screen scrolls went much better than normal, so I'm very happy with that. And overall, I mean, 9 was a little slow. Took a few more bops than I would have liked, but overall, can't complain.
The C room with reverse C with the wall masters. When you got bopped by that bubble, I was afraid you were gonna get caught by the hand.
I was pretty close. I had faith in my bow and arrows, though.
Bobbing kills Patra 1, get the bomb drop. And I have to say, from what I've seen... Go ahead.
I was just saying, Jess, I know this is kind of a return to vanilla for you. I mean, in my time around all this, I was talking earlier, I'd seen you much more playing the randomizer. How good does it feel to be playing the regular game in a competitive setting again? I
enjoy it. It's been nice actually practicing, not in tournament settings, obviously. Practicing both my, obviously I wouldn't only get the potion before going to 9 on PB attempts, but practicing for a tournament setting it's been refreshing in a way, I guess you could say.
And I'm sure it's also refreshing knowing where everything's going to be.
It's almost too easy, you know? Just change 2 things. Oh look, the boomerang's in level 9. Oops.
Another thing I'd never say no to. But yeah, I mean, obviously it makes it double easy, I guess, when every enemy in 9 is giving you bombs on the way to reverse C. But
yeah, that was also funny that I made sure to still. I mean, I still managed to use them all, so I guess that.
Oh, absolutely,
that went very well.
Yeah, so you know, if you're finishing this game with bombs, you're doing it wrong.
That is correct. Yes.
But I believe you left reverse C with more health than you entered reverse C with, which is always an excellent measuring stick of how you want to try to pull off that room.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Of course, you took a hit to a keys, but you know that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. The keys are the real trolls of the whole game.
No, the real troll we saw in this race was there was a Dodongo in level 7 for Bobbing4Fries that ate both of his remaining bombs or 2 of his last 3 bombs in that room before the Wall Masters.
Oh no!
And both of them were placed such that if they had exploded, they would have opened the bomb hole.
Wow, that's troll dongo at its best, or worst, depending on your philosophical bent. I also had a bomb misplaced myself in level 7. That was the one really, I guess, slow part, besides the taking too many hits in 9. But it was nice that the troll dongo was not on my side for level 7. He cooperated very nicely.
Yeah. Level 7 already being such a bomb-tight dungeon, you certainly not the place you want to be using extras. But
meanwhile, Bobbing's getting a lot of bomb drops now too, and he's pretty much out of places to bomb.
All the bomb drops, holy moly, that's crazy.
He is having an extremely good level 9, though, I gotta say.
Depending on the speed of this Patra fight and Ganon, he has a chance to beat his first round time. He's already passed his PB.
Okay, I was about to ask again what his PB was.
According to Discord, it's a 40-33.
Okay. That sounds about right. I seem to remember him being right around the same spot as me. But while we've got a minute while he's taking out Patra 3, I just want to reiterate, as folks can see on the screen here, chessjerk with the greatest name select screen.
There is much truth to that. Go Eagles!
Yes, indeed.
I think we're all in agreement here, which is nice.
Isn't it, though?
Ooh, good thing he had that potion down to 1 heart.
Mm-hmm. Both potion and blue ring saving his butt there, because taking the Hyrule driver, never what you want to see, but he's close to finishing off Ganon here. Gets the stun lock, and the pig is down.
With that, get your GGs out in chat for Bobbing4Fries, who finishes with an official SRL time of 43 minutes and 24 seconds. See if we can get him in for an interview as well.
Looks like he's already moved to the waiting area, so if we just get him pulled over, I'm sure he'll be in soon. And there we have him. GG Bobbing4Fries. Very cleanly run race for you. Really solid level 9, in fact.
And I think he might be having issues. We're not here. See, I'm not seeing his dot go off on Discord.
Well, while we're waiting for Bobbing, want to remind everybody that coming up right after this, at midnight Eastern, we've got one more race here on Speed Gaming 4 between Panzer Dave and RC Drone. Panzer Dave at 2-0, and RC Drone is the top-seeded 1-1 competitor, getting the pair up/down.
And that will be right here on Speed Gaming 4.
Yep. I believe Redbird Grad and the one and only tournament admin JSR2 Gamers on the call for that one. It looks like, I don't know if we're still having issues with Bobbing4Fries. I mean, if you're there, I'd love to say congratulations on a very, very cleanly run race.
Well, while we're trying to get that taken care of, be sure to give both of these runners, both chessjerk and Bobbing4Fries, a follow. And also my commentary partner, Liquid Husband.
Sure, whatever. If you want to watch someone actually play games on a regular basis, though, go with my co-commentator, Garyon Oldwolf, part of the Wolf crew of The Legend of Zelda.
I'm thinking he must still be having issues because he's left the channel now.
Yeah, looks like he's back in the waiting room area. Unfortunately, waiting is not something I'm for, because the good news on the other side is that, like we said, another race coming up in just a little bit over 10 minutes. An incredible nightcap to this triple header on Speed Gaming 4 between Panzer Dave and RC Drone. We can see they're already getting things set up for that. chessjerk, any last words?
No, just GG to Bob. Hopefully he can hear this, but yeah, pretty good race, and good luck in next week.
All right, well, with 2-1, Bobbing4Fries down to 1-2, and looks like we might have bobbing in here finally.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, Bob.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, the ongoing
GG, sir.
laptop and microphone. Yeah, thank you. I felt like I had a sloppy early game and cleaned it up a little bit. Had I not made the combat errors I made early, that could have been a PB.
How about that troll dongo in level 7? Eating both of your bombs.
Yeah, that was fun. He just ate both of them like they were nothing. That was great. But then the next one complied and gave me the bombs right away, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and then after that, I just want to say your level 9 was extremely strong, which is always the key to a good time. You can do whatever you want to in the early game, and sometimes even in the mid game, as long as you finish strong, and you certainly did in that level 9.
Yeah, almost got away with not using my potion for the first time. That would have been a feather in my hat for sure.
It always works out that way. If you get it, you may not need it, but if you don't get it, obviously you'll die at reverse C or something.
Right, of course. And yeah, I had a really strong 9 the other day and died to a brown Ganon hug. That would have been a gold split for me. So I felt pretty good going into 9. I was at about 38 minutes going into 9, so I figured I was going to finish something sub 44. So finishing where I did was cool to me, especially with the sloppy as I was early.
Brown Ganon hugs. We will have JSR2 Gamers on the call for the next grad, like I said earlier. Shout outs to him there for his Brown Ganon hug in the tournament earlier this last week.
It's now the cool thing to do, apparently.
I suppose so. We apologize for the brevity of this interview with you. Obviously, with the technical issues compounded with the fact that leg 3 of the is coming up right after this here on Speed Gaming 4. So, any parting words, Bob, for concerning this race or your opponent, chessjerk, or what's to come?
Oh yeah, I'm just stoked to be in it. I'm relatively new and learning from watching all these guys and even you guys included. Just excited that I'm finishing my races and not dying too often. But it was chessjerk. Was that a PB for him?
It was close. It's funny that my PB was 33:30 and I got a 32:41 right before this race started.
Nice.
So yeah, it was close to my PB from an hour ago.
Yeah, GG, sir.
Thank you very much. GG to you as well.
With that, we thank again. Want to thank Bobbing4Fries and chessjerk once again for great performances in that race, and we'll see more of them going forward. Congratulations to them. Thanks for putting on a good show for the fans. Gary, it was my pleasure to do commentary with you. Pretty good first outing, I'd say. Hopefully you'll be wanting to do it again some.
Yeah, thanks for having me as a co-commentator. And thanks to Spiesel and the rest of the Speed Gaming crew for hosting all these races.
Absolutely, an absolute machine, the Speed Gaming network of channels. And Speed Gaming 4 in particular, my favorite restreamer for the Legend of Zelda Up+A tournament. That is effective at least through the end of tonight as we see this final match of the triple header coming up. Panzer Dave versus ASR and Redbird Grad on the call. Fans, do not go anywhere. That one is coming up next, and it is coming up soon.